everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using the stamp and thin cut set called Love Mail. Okay, so this is the set and it comes with this giant mailbox that on this particular card I'm going to show you how to make it an interactive card. And I'm going to do that by using the pull tab thin cut set, so you'll need both of them. I'm using the Now and Forever papers and some storybook papers along with the coordinating cardstocks. Okay, so let's get started. I've loaded this mailbox into my MISTI. I'm going to stamp it out in black ink on the light side of Ballerina in black ink. And then I'll be cutting everything out with the coordinating die cuts. Okay. So now I've loaded the rest of these stamps from this Love Mail stamp set into my MISTI, and I'm just going to stamp a whole bunch of these images in different cardstock colors that coordinate with the Now and Forever papers. So I have Ballerina, Flamingo, that was some of the storybook papers. And this mailbox die cut, it cuts a slit so that you can put mail inside your mailbox, okay? So I'm going to start with my base components here. This is the Now and Forever, and I've cut that at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I have a piece of Ballerina. I'm going to cut that at 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to be my base. So I would suggest using a piece of cardstock for your interactive base as opposed to a piece of patterned paper, just because it's a thicker paper, the cardstock is. Okay, so I realized that I had Ballerina, the light side of Ballerina for my mailbox and also for my base. So I'm going to use the dark side of Ballerina for my base. And then I'm going to create some patterned paper using a stencil from Stencil Pack 1 in the core catalog, and it has these tiny little hearts all over it. So I've sprayed it with some pixie spray to make it tacky, and just setting it down on my cardstock. And you do have to move this one around because there's 3 different designs on this panel. So I just want the hearts. So I'm moving it around strategically so I can just cover this whole panel of Ballerina cardstock with hearts. And I'm using Ballerina ink, so it's tone on tone. I just want a subtle pattern for this background. And a lot of it will be covered up by the design, but you'll still be able to see some of it. So I'm just moving it around so that I can cover this whole panel. I've sped the video up, but I'm keeping everything in here. Okay, so now I have some patterned cardstock here. All right, so now I'm going to create my interactive part. All right, so the pull tab thin cut set comes with 3 different lengths of pull slits, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. And in retrospect, I should have set this down a little bit further to the left, but I still get enough pull action, so the card still works. But noted, next time, move it over so it's about 3/4 of an inch in from the left side where your slit starts, and you'll get more pull on that. And then the circle die creates like a half circle pull tab area so that you have room for it to stick out, and then you'll be able to pull it. Okay. Now I've got a piece of Ballerina cardstock, and I'm going to create the mechanism. You can use whatever color you want. This one, I just decided to use this color to coordinate with everything. So I've cut out the mechanism and then a tab that's going to create kind of a circle, a guide tab, and then the edge tab to cover up the edge. Okay, so the mechanism has embossed lines on it so that you can fold it. So I'm just folding them and then gluing it together. Okay. Okay, so this guide tab also has embossed lines, so I'm just creating like a loop and gluing that together, and it's going to slide onto this piece. And then at the top of this T-shaped piece, there's also some embossed pieces. So you just zigzag it, you fold it in and then fold it out. And then when those two pieces meet, it kind of looks like a circle, okay? All right, so now I'm just going to start building my card so I can get my mechanism going. So I'm putting my base pattern paper down, and this is going to be a landscape top fold card. And then I'm going to add my base piece for the mechanism, okay? So you want to make sure that you have room for your mechanism to move back and forth. So be sure to put your foam tape, give it clearance, okay? So don't put it too close to where that slit is. And use thick foam tape because you need a lot of space for it to move around. So I'm sliding that little looped piece on, and basically that loop is just a guidance so that it keeps your pull tab going straight. And then you take those two half circle pieces and thread it through that slit, and then open them up again, and then you'll have a circle on the outside. Okay, so I'm just securing that looped piece with a glue dot, and it popped out of the slit there, so I gotta put it back in. It's a little fussy, but be the boss, make it work, okay? So, all right, so I have the slit, the tab threaded through the slit, and then I have the circle guidance with the glue dot attached, so that pull tab isn't going to wander around. And I'm just kind of checking where things are with my mailbox. So I'm going to have a base piece that everything else is going to be built upon. Okay. So first I'm going to attach everything to my card front. All right. So I have a glue dot on that circle guide piece, and then I'm going to put my foam tape down to my card front. And then this is my base piece that everything is going to be built on. So I'm just coloring it in quickly with a tri-blend. The only part of it that you'll see is that little postage stamp image. And I'm looking at my stamps just to see if there was anything else I wanted to add to that. Not yet. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 glue dots. Since everything's built on this, I want it to be on there nice and sturdy. And that's the pull tab action there, okay? So then when you put your mailbox on there, that piece is going to be threaded through that slit on the mailbox, okay? So I'm going to stamp on it first before doing anything else. And this stamp says sending you. So I've got that stamped in some scarlet ink. And then again, with this one, when you put your foam tape down, make sure you're leaving clearance for everything that's going to be threaded through. Okay, so I've just got foam tape just around the edges. Okay, so there's not a lot of pull action with this one because, like I said before, my slit should have been a little bit more to the left, but I think it still works. So now I'm just going to start adding different bits to my mail pile there. Okay, so got lots of different colors to choose from, and I'm adding some touches with tri-blends. So most of the action here is going to be this little mouse. You can't see him when the pull tab is in, and then when you pull it out, you see the little mouse. Okay, so I'm also decorating with one of the Spectrum Noir paint pens, and this is the liquid gold. So I have a lot going on with this card with just cardstock and stamped images. So just with the little gold adds a little something, but not getting too crazy there. Don't need a lot of extra embellishments because you have all these fun images to work with. So I'm just layering different die cut pieces and then coloring things in as I go and just kind of building my pile of mail there. Okay. And then I'm going to add this little swirled piece with the bumblebee at the end. So I'm going to add another piece of mail so there's a place for the bumblebee to go. And just kind of trying things out to see what works. And this one, it won't be popped up, but it's still kind of going to be floating. So I'll add that bumblebee with a glue dot. And then the last one is going to be this bird. And I'll color the bird in with a tri-blend red marker and the liquid gold pen. Okay, so I'm going to put a piece of shimmer trim at the base just to give a little contrast and just a little extra bling and shimmer. Then I'm going to stamp out Happy Mail. So my sentiment is going to read, sending you Happy Mail. Okay, so I have a piece of the Seabrook paper, 1/2 inch strip, and then I'll just stamp out Happy Mail in sapphire ink. And I'm going to create a little banner. Okay, so I'm just snipping off the end there and then snipping vertically in the center, and then taking each corner to meet that snip and cutting that little triangle out. And then I'm going to doodle a little line around the edges in black. Okay. Super cute. So I'll make a list of all the supplies that I used with links in the description below. And for the last touch, to finish off that pull tab, you just push it in all the way and then cut off the excess. And then this is the cover for the end of that pull tab, so I'm just gluing that down. And it has kind of a little arrow sort of shape color cut into it, and I'm just going to add a little dab of liquid gold right there. Okay, and there's my finished card. A little mouse pokes his nose out when you pull the tab. Super cute. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And like I said, I'll make a list of all the supplies that I use with links in the description below, and you can do some shopping. Thanks for watching.